Shalom and greetings to you all S2PS Global Networks. I'm reaching out today because I have an important update. As we speak right now, several of our team members are currently on the ground in Rome, attending some very important conferences and meetings that is gathering together global leaders, in this case, right now, today, it's faith leaders in Rome to talk about what's going on, the challenges and the opportunities of our era. Also building bridges between nations. This particular conference has an emphasis on bringing in Latin America and bringing in Asia to connect in Italy. So it's an important time, and I'm thankful that we have several of our people there, Luigi and Fabio and Alex and Pastor Cesar, and I myself will be joining there on Wednesday. So I leave here tomorrow for Italy. Now, Italy is important because we've been there 5 times in the last year. I think this will be our 6th trip inside of Italy. And since we have been working so much in Italy, we have learned so much about the culture, so much about the economy, so much about really the nation and its future, its faith community, its marketplace community, and even its governmental community. And we've been able to have even a meaningful impact helping our friends like Massimo Ripepi, who's in this chat, and some of the members from his church and his community in Calabria. And if you guys don't know Dr. Ripepi, he was going to be governor of the Calabrian province under the direction of Giorgia Meloni, who is the president or prime minister president of Italy. Now, while we are in Italy, we intend to expand the relational equity that we have there. But this time, we'll be meeting with more government people. We'll be meeting with more people from the economic attaché, the economic envoys, the economic ministry. We'll be meeting with people who are very connected with the Vatican and who are very active in Italian business. Some of the biggest public projects that you can imagine. These are the people that are helping to shape the future of Italy. Italy is one of the largest economies also in Europe. So if you think Germany, Italy, France, these countries, these guys are the ones that are cranking out GDP and production. So it's a productive place, all things considered. It's Europe, right? So it's not America, but we are becoming a global economy. And that's by design. I believe that that's what God wanted. When God establishes his kingdom, his will on earth, that transcends borders and boundaries. People will say things like, I'm not of this world. I'm of the world to come, because they have a perspective about God and what his will is and his ability to, put forth, the things that he desires and wants on the earth, which play out in the story of our lives, in the way that we do business, the way that we raise our families, the way that we govern nations. So with that said, Italy, in my opinion, Italy is on the rise. Italy is on the rise in a big way. Italy and Jerusalem, for instance, have an eternal connection, an eternal bond. Jerusalem being, the place of, the world's 3 religions, but in reality, it's the place of Judaism. It's the place, Jerusalem is Israel, right? And out of Zion shall go forth my word, out of Jerusalem, the word of God, and the Torah out of Jerusalem. So we know that God rules and reigns, and he has placed his name on Zion. This we understand. But we have also seen something very unique in the history of Rome, and that is the proliferation of Christianity. And, for all intents and purposes, Christianity is a mechanism. Just follow along with you. I'm not trying to be overly sophisticated about this. I'm trying to explain this in a way that can be handled diplomatically. Christianity is a mechanism that brings people into the right relationship with God and with Israel. So, maybe some scholars want to debate about that, but if you look, the evangelicals and the Jews have a very good relationship. The evangelicals have proven to be the greatest ally to Israel, particularly during this time. It is the evangelicals who have stood with Israel. It's the evangelicals who have supported the Jewish people. And that's good, because in Germany in World War II, that wasn't exactly the case. Many of the churches stayed quiet. 3,000 churches stood with Hitler, 3,000 against, and many, about 12,000 stood silent and did nothing. But Dietrich Bonhoeffer is a name you might be familiar with, was a great hero. Pastor Dietrich Bonhoeffer stood against the persecution of the Jewish people, and he's well honored in the Jewish communities, those who at least know about him. So we're very excited about Italy. I believe that God's favor is on Italy. I believe that there's economic favor on Italy. And I believe that we have an opportunity to bring influence there. We have built so many meaningful relationships, and now we're engaged with people at the upper echelon of Italian society, which means the things that they're doing, they're inviting us also to do those things. So it's a great benefit to be part of S2PS Global Networks, because it's my hope and my desire to include many of you in those projects, to include many of you in those initiatives. That's what S2PS Global is about. It's about creating economic development and strategic partnership opportunities for you. It's about creating a private economy for you. The world is a harsh place, and it's going to get harsher. You can see that everybody who's in this chat recognizes that there are some threats to, peace and stability and maybe prosperity in the future. And there's, it's written about in the Tanakh that there will be a time of Jacob's trouble, and it's written about in the New Testament that there will be a tribulation. Those days are not far away, and we may already be in them. And if you look at some of the countries in the world where persecution is happening, like I was recently apprised to what's happening in Bangladesh, those people are in their hour of tribulation, and maybe it will get much worse, but it's, each of us have to be prepared. So part of the endeavor of S2PS Global is that we build an economy through a trusted and vetted network of leaders like yourselves. You're all here because you're a leader. You're all here because you have certain skills. You're all here because you want to make an impact. So having you here gives you the purview to be able to be included on things that are creating economy at global scale. And I believe that that's what God wants, because how else are his people going to be equipped for the time of trouble that is coming, except that we have one another and we have a way of doing business together with one another. Business is a foundational and fundamental relationship, and we have the opportunity to exercise that together as a community, which, as you know, S2PS works at the intersection of faith, marketplace, and government. So if you are approaching this network and the things that we're doing with the values that are driven by faith and, the God of the Bible, then, you're going to prefer to do business with your people, and you're going to do good business and with integrity and with accountability and testimony, good testimony. That's what we want to produce. And then you're able to influence governance wherever it may be. Obviously, we want to be very careful about how you do those kinds of things. But you have an opportunity to impact the region, the state, the nation where you live by your success, by your prosperity, and by your influence. So I believe that God is going to do that for many of you here. And really, anything that blesses Israel, Pastor Cesar taught me this, anything that blesses Israel will prosper. So Baruch Hashem to that. Now, after Rome, we head to UAE. Where we'll be greeted by Esther, who's in this chat. Esther, shout out to you and God bless you. We cannot wait to see you. Esther's from the Chinese Christian community in UAE, and she's very productive. She has built an ecosystem of business there, much like what we're talking about now, right? Connecting people, working with preferred people through preferred networks, through preferred processes. She's doing a great job there. We can't wait to visit her on the ground. Also, we're very much looking forward to meeting Samantha's family. Samantha, a new addition to this group, she's from Dubai. Her and her husband, Daniel, are amazing, amazing people. They are kingdom people. They love God. They are productive. They work in the aviation industry, in the packaging industry, and logistics. They have done great things in Dubai. And Samantha, now native to the United States as of last year, she's a wonderful addition in this group. And also, thank you for coming over for Shabbat on Friday night. It was great to break bread with you guys. And then, of course, Dr. Daniel Lucero is here. He'll be traveling. We'll be traveling together as companions to the UAE. Dr. Lucero has over 40 years in ministry, has opened many countries in Africa and helped to build the economy there. He has an MBA. He has a PhD in agricultural studies. He's a real heavy hitter, and he has planted thousands of churches. So we will be there together. But the thing that Daniel would contribute to this moment, I think, is to say that when you establish communities and establish churches, you also have to establish economy. And then by that, you establish governance of your community, right? There's a way of doing things. So going to the UAE, we plan to do many, many things, not just a couple of things that I mentioned, but we will be meeting with Israel's economic envoy in UAE. A big shout out to Tomer and this group for making that happen. We'll be meeting with, we'll be going to the Food Expo, the International Food Expo, where many great vendors and important people will be at. And we're going to be there with Paolo and Pietro, who are also part of this group, who are really shakers and movers in Italy, and will be there as part of a delegation, an envoy to that event, because food is such an important part of Italian culture and an Italian economy. So we look forward to being there as well. So we're in Dubai, Al Ain, Abu Dhabi. We have great things lined up. It is our desire to make community there, to open doors there, to offer expertise in that region, to begin to be part of international business that's happening in UAE. It's the Manhattan in the Middle East. It's the financial capital of the world at this time. And through the Abraham Accords, which allows Israel to trade with its Arab neighbors, 6 nations as of right now, UAE being the most active partnership there, it allows us to represent Israeli businesses, American businesses, European businesses, kingdom businesses in that part of the world, to help them to gain clients, or to enter into deals, or to find arbitrage opportunities, or to otherwise be very productive in those economies. So part of like what we do is we represent you, we represent each other. Many of you I've had firsthand conversations with about your business, and I'm very confident in a position to recommend your business when the solution arises. So part of being like an S2PS global, executive, or any of you guys, is that you get to go out there not only armed with maybe one solution, but you have people who do it all. Your community can do everything. And what is the goal here? The goal here is to build some form of shared economy where people are doing business with one another, Christians and Jews doing business together, Israel and the nations doing business together. And that takes the resources out of the hands of those who maybe don't like us or don't share the same values, and brings it into our hands where we can affect good into the world. And so, just to give you an example, like what quantifies shared economy, I'm doing business right now with several of you in this group. We're doing all kinds of things and involving like, 2, 3, 5, multiple people into transactions, whereby everybody in that transaction becomes a beneficiary. In Missouri, for instance, where we have a home base, we set up a goal for 2026 to do $1 million in collaborative economy or shared economy or economic development for that area through strategic partnership. So having a community that offers so many benefits, so many opportunities, first of all, is a blessing, but second of all, it's going to be very effective. So I just wanted to share these updates with you about Rome and about the UAE and about some of the vision for S2PS. Look, we're kind of growing, figuring things out. So I'm sure things are going to evolve over time, but we value you and your feedback and your thoughts and your ideas and your initiative. There is several people in this network who are taking amazing initiative. Audrey, thank you for setting up the infrastructure and the architecture to do a podcast. That's coming really soon. Thank you, Audrey. Thank you, Daniela Hoffman, who's a news correspondent for RT News out of Germany. She's going to do a special piece on S2PS, and she's going to talk about our vision and help to get it out there. We're very excited about the future, and we thank God for it. We thank God for each of you, and I pray that God will cause us all to prosper. You can support this work. We are set up as a 501c3, which means that you too can contribute to the advancement of this vision, of this organization, as we go and stir communities all around the world for economic development and strategic partnership, working together with people who share the same values and likeness in faith. We also advocate strongly for Israel. We believe that Israel is established by God for this time, for eternity, for the purposes of fulfilling his prophetic word. He has a promise to the Jewish people, a relationship with the Jewish people, and he is working mightily among the Jewish people and among all of Israel, even the lost tribes that I believe God is bringing home. So look, we love Israel. We stand with Israel. We know that we serve the God of Israel. And because we serve the God of Israel, we get to enjoy the benefits and the protection and the favor that he grants us. So if you guys feel that this vision is something that really just grabs your heart, we want you to be part of it. We don't want you to miss out on this. These trips cost money. These delegations cost money. If you feel led to contribute to this, it's a tax write-off and it will be put to good use. So thank you so much for considering partnering with S2PS. And we hope that you will join us on one of our amazing delegations, our Signature Ambassador Series, which is coming up in the near future. Israel's on the map, August 3rd to the 12th, and then maybe Dubai after that. Well, actually, right after that is New York, but maybe even Dubai sometime after that. So we're really excited. We really appreciate you guys. Shalom. God bless.